with Laura. Oh my goodness, there is so much going on. You got the 14th Amendment, the birthright citizen, deportation going on. Woo! Where do we begin? Well, the first thing I like to begin with is deportation. Now, I just did a little short. Um, you can't you can't make it up. You truly can't. People getting deported. Latin Americans are getting deported, or should I say, namely Mexicans, are getting deported, and wherever they get deported to in Mexico, they get a ride all the way up to Texas, Brownsville, or wherever it is along the border, walk across, and then get a ride wherever they were back in the U.S. Now, you can't make this look. You can't make it up. Then they continuously do social media posts. Ha ha, Trump! You thought you got rid of me, well, you didn't. I'm back. I had a vacation while on social media. Okay. Now you would think that you want to be low key, but you want all the attention. Give me attention. I need attention. Well, you're going to get attention. It's going to be the type of attention you don't want. But I digress on that point. All right, you can't make it up. Birthright citizenship. Now I have been saying this for a while, even before I started politics with Laura, even before I got on social media. And I've been talking to people about birthright citizenship. I've been talking to people about 14th Amendment, and people looking at me like, well, that applies to everybody. No, it doesn't. The 14th Amendment has nothing to do with anyone except for Black Americans, descendants of slaves. That's it. That is it. That was back in the what was it? It was 1865. And you think you have something to do with that? You don't. You have zero to do with that. It states, and I'm going to say it states again, that Black Americans were not even considered human beings. Weren't considered three-fifths of a man and property at that. So they had to come up with the 13th, 14th, and 15th Amendments to solidify us being in this country, which I'm not going to get into. I'm going to leave that one alone right there. But however, that's exactly the birthright citizenship. So I'm here arguing with people. I'm like, why am I arguing with you? You had nothing to do with the 14th Amendment. The birthright citizenship, 14th Amendment makes Black Americans legal, human beings, and given citizenship. And then also, if you're not a naturalized citizen, if you didn't go through the paperwork, if you didn't sit down and do all the naturalized, my name is John Doe and I'm from this country and these are my people and blah blah blah. If you're not doing that, how you doing? If you're not doing that, how do you think you have not only any rights, but how do you think your children have rights? You, you are delusional to the third power. Oh, how you doing, Brazil? I'm doing fine. Oh, you moving to the all right? Moving to the U.S. legally. I have no problems with that. Come here legally. I like that. So I'm arguing with people. I'm even arguing with some family members. I'm just like, okay, because I'm born here. My ex-husband is from another country. He gets it. He's from Nicaragua. And I tell people this. And I am most definitely a patriotic American, as you are supposed to be. If you're born here, you're supposed to be a patriotic American. Now, if you have some other mindset stating that I want America to be anything other than what it is, we got a problem with you. Um, Scholar just says, I can't wait to arrive and wave to. All right, I'll be the first one to wave to you. Welcome, welcome. Now, as I'm arguing with people, They're telling me, hey, well, politics with Laura, my child was born here. I'm like, but you're illegal. You're illegal, and and your baby's mom is illegal. Both of you are illegal. How does your child get any benefits? Well, I, my baby's born here. You are trying to use an amendment that has nothing to do with you. Zero. Now, now the Supreme Court, they ruled on what Trump was trying to do. Well, not trying to do, he's going to do at a limited capacity. And people are going to sue, and then they're going to mess it up, and then they're going to not only take away the people that are born here from here on on out, but they're going to screw up from here on before. Watch, watch. Never let anyone who's falling, well, I'm not saying falling out the building, but never, don't interrupt people who are screwing themselves over as they're trying to screw you. You let them mess themselves up. So it's interesting. 3-6. 3-6 world. Trump has limited compatibility. Federal government has limited ability to be able to deal with birthright citizenship. Now, it's in, I think, what is it, in 20 different states? 20 or 35 different states. Where's the article at? Okay, I'll find it. So as they're deciding, now you got to keep in mind, the United States has almost every ethnicity in this world here. Okay, this is nothing news. Okay, well, I don't know why you wrote that, but if it's nothing to you, thank you for stopping by. Thank you for engaging. You're only helping my algorithm. That's all you do. Thank you. Okay, Baluba Bear, this is not true. Tell me, how is it not true? And I'm an illiterate monkey. Really, birthright citizenship is over. Now wait a minute. How are you gonna sit there and insult me, right? Insult me, then call me illiterate. Man, you need to take so. No, I'm not even gonna say that. I'm not even gonna say that. But what I would do is I will time you out. Time you out. I don't need that kind of stupidity. It's not even 3 o'clock and you're acting a fool. All right. Chuhan says Trump is doing realism relation purely based on benefits, not following the idealism. Okay, I'm not. I want to elaborate on that a little bit. I'm not quite sure where you're going with that. Fragrance says, read my last comment. Okay, where's your last comment? Okay, this is nothing news. Okay, well, like I said, it's okay. Go ahead on if you want to, if it's nothing news. JJ Bogey said, Master says, are you a Trump supporter? No, I'm an independent. I'm independent. I'm an American, and I put America first. Now, if you come here and you get all the benefits of America, but you're not America first, that's a problem. Especially people who come here that and this right here goes into it. People have babies. The babies are born here. Then they go someplace else, live for a while. Kamala Harris, excellent example. Kamala Harris was born here in California and she was raised in Canada. Then she comes back. She has no, even though she was born here, She has no how can I say connection with the United States. Zero connection. And then she has even less connection with Black Americans as she goes, "Oh, I'm black. I'm black. Oh yes, uh-huh. I do." No, you don't. Because you were just saying that you were Indian not too long ago. You never called yourself an American. You always called yourself Indian, not Indian American, not Jamaican, not Jamaican American. She did zero of those things. These are anchor babies. These are what is considered the issue with birthright citizenship because people like Kamala and then come and then undercut everything that goes on within the United States. Now, it's getting to the point to where you have Jim Jordan. Oh, Jim Jordan. You piss off somebody like Jim Jordan, you got some serious issues. Serious. Because he's going as far as saying, hey, those of you, um, we're keeping you from getting into public office. And the main one is over there in New York City. The guy who's running for mayor, Mamdani, Manda, forgive me if I'm messing up his name. Okay, that's not even my topic. Let me not even go down that road. Okay, let's see. Justin said, it is an internet. What do you expect? You know, you're right. Frank says, hello, how you doing? Frank says, good evening, good afternoon. Tyler says, people are just ignorant. Uh, Ignorant anymore, and they just voted for Trump. Okay. Well, remember, we got people to vote for. We could vote for Democrat, Republican, or Independent. That's why we have uh, different avenues. Me, I vote for somebody who's going to serve me. Okay. Keep in mind, being a politician, they have a job application. Our vote is saying yes, we want you for the job, and a vote against is no, we don't want you. So we got to look at, does the person serve not only our interests, but are they aligned with the Constitution? For me, it's all about the law of the land, and that's where all the federal rules are based upon. Now, if you cannot stick with the federal rule and how it aligns with the Constitution, and you want to change it to fit you, and you just came here yesterday, I got a problem with that. There are many of us that have been in this country for several hundreds of years. Those of us are like, look, okay, we let you fools go too long. We are going to have to pull things back because this is getting a bit to be extremely ridiculous in what you're doing. And saying that you can come from another country illegally, you don't even bother to come through the door that was provided for you. No, I'm not doing that because that door isn't right for me. I don't like the color of the door. I'm going to create my own door. And when I create my own door, you're going to have to accept me because I'm here. And not only am I here, I have a baby, and you have to supply or help me take care of my baby. Where do they do that at? Where? Now you may say, oh, well, you're a Trump supporter. No, no, it has nothing to do with supporting Trump. It has nothing to do with supporting Kamala. It has to do with supporting America. Okay? I'm all about this country. All my people have come from here. Both sides, mother and father throughout, has always been here. So, America first for me. Okay. Yeah, stock market is under Trump. Under Trump. Look, Trump got in trouble for saying, "Hey, you might want to go ahead and invest because it's getting ready to shoot up." He wasn't supposed to say that. Now, I never heard Kamala Harris say, "Hey, invest in the stock market." No, she's like, "Hey, I want to tax you more." You never heard Bill Clinton say, "Hey, do that." No, Bill Clinton was too busy sending her jobs overseas, over to other continents and taking manufacturing jobs. Heck, Bethlehem Steel, Pittsburgh Steel, no longer. Let me not do that. I'm going to go down and get pissed off all over again. I'm not going to do that. Okay, Trump 2028. Now he won't be able to what do you call it? Run anymore. He has his 2 terms. Uh, Let me see. Income up under Trump. Invasion last month 0. Okay. Smoke says facts. Frequent says I agree with you. You know how many people disagree with me and call me? Look. I was called. You can't make this up. I was called a reverse racist. I was called a coon, a sellout, a white man's bedwitch. Let me see. What else was I called? Um, this guy, I think he's from the Middle East, called me a fat mouth liar, uh, but he doesn't prove anything. Um, let me see. Fat mouth liar. I mean, it's crazy. It is crazy because I put my country first. I'm wrong for that. I'm wrong for fighting for my country and to make sure that things are run correctly. I'm wrong for that. I'm wrong for saying, hey, I'm a United States citizen, the US, born from the great state of Pennsylvania to where everything comes from. You're right. But I'm wrong. I'm wrong for that. You can't make this stuff up. You can't. Look, those of you who are anti American, we don't need your mindset. We don't. We don't. We're having enough problems already. We don't need anything additional. Pro America. America has a culture already. We don't need anybody trying to bring the culture from where they come from to come here and then try to change our policies to fit where you come from that you couldn't even be bothered to fix or to stay, but say, I want to bring, and I'm just going to say Sharia law because they're kicking Sharia law out of Texas. I don't even know how that happened. I don't understand how that happened, but they're kicking Sharia law out of a couple of states. Really? Wait, I have one question. Just one. Please, somebody answer me. When has America become so soft? When? When have we become? I remember growing up because I'm Gen X, middle of the road, 70s baby, right? 70s baby. I remember when I fell off the bike and my head hit the concrete, the ambulance picked up the concrete and left me there. I got up, America strong. When have we become this weak? Please help me. Somebody tell me. Somebody tell me. Woo, I got a lot of stuff. Got a lot to. Woo, you all doing a lot of writing. 80s baby, 80s baby. All right, boomer. Okay, that explains your brain damage. Nah, I'm sorry. Brain damage. No, actually, it made some things right. Do a backflip. When I was young and skinny, uh, talking to a camera. No, I'm talking to you all. Okay, breaking news. I feel, or I feel around 2000, America becoming weak. I was born 1970. All right. Damn, I gotta get new glasses. Okay. Let me say, with you are Native people land. She is 100%. Thank you. Too sheltered. Hmm. I don't know that if I'm too sheltered. If you're talking to me, I don't think I'm too sheltered. But then again, look at my content, and I basically offend everybody. I don't think offending people is being sheltered. And I stay in trouble with YouTube. Oh my goodness, I'm shadow banned like crazy. That's not sheltered. That is being out there like right. Okay. The brain nodding with the young people. Okay. All right. Trump's phone is losing the America and U.S. Okay. Well, I would say I made a trade war with China. No, 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 no. That no, 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 no. Money is rolling in from the trades. Running money is rolling in. I was like kind of like I don't know, but he most definitely did things that we're thinking that's not going to work. Hey, tax the American people, tax them some more, and then those people over in the other countries, let's not tax them. But I'm not going to keep it that simplistic because it's basically companies taxing, and they're going to, I got to do a separate video on that. I got to stay on topic. Okay, Luke said, I wasn't born yet, but that story sounds disgusting. Prioritizing roads and not the people. No. If you, okay, that right there is something what we said back in Gen X era. So it meant that we were strong, America strong, meaning that we are tough, not only physically, but mentally. So please do not take that as how can I say it? Um, I'm trying to find a way to be able to really to explain it to you and not go way off a topic. But that meant falling off of a bike and having the ambulance come pick up the concrete and not me. This meant that meant that we are strong, America strong. That's all. And in fact, I'm gonna tell you something. My mom, she, I remember I was young. This was back in, I'm gonna tell my age. Back in 1976, I was 78, 79. I was 9 years old. I'm born 1970. And my mom kept on telling me, stop swinging on the pole. Because I was swinging on this metal pole and I kept on swinging. And yes, I was hard headed. That's why the ambulance picked up the concrete and not me. And I slipped and I went high up in the air and I fell directly on my head. My mom takes my dad. It's like, oh my god, oh my god. But my mom took me to the hospital. Had all kind of X-rays. Nothing at all. Fine. Now, when you look at the concrete needed some help. Okay. Bama says, live life with a screen as a babysitter. Okay. Okay, you're soft for sitting on your butt talking. I'm soft? Well, but you're sitting on your butt watching me talk and typing. What's wrong with you? Come on. Look, if you're going to insult me, you have to do a better job. That right there is not a good job. Come on. Okay, Melinda says the question was what happened? Okay. What happened is birthright citizenship and deportation. Uh, Crank says, rounded smart lady. Thank you. All right, Vaughn, how you doing, Vaughn? All right. Swamp, you're walking the line. Be respectful. Thank you, Vaughn. I have one. I have one moderator, and that's my guy right there. Vaughn, tell your mama I said hi. Okay, Rick says no trade deals. Okay, but let me go ahead and get back to birthright citizenship. Tony says Hispanics for Trump. All right. Okay. Trump is going above and beyond my expectations, and we couldn't be happier. Craig says, yes, Tony. And I gotta say, when first Trump ran the first time, I have to admit, I did not give him a chance. That's when I was thinking, I was still on the Obama. Obama waved, which, oh my God, I want my 2 votes back. Give me my votes back. I want my votes back right now. Right? But I vote across because I was a lifetime Democrat, but it doesn't mean that I always voted democratically. No. It just meant that if I saw someone on the other side that spoke to me, I voted. And I just saw Barack Obama the first time in my lifetime that I became politically aware. I was like, oh, he's this black guy. Oh my goodness. I got swept up in who, what, where, why, how. Right? And Obama was the one that really kicked open a door for immigration. Check that out. Hey, Minnesota, check out Minnesota. Check out Minnesota. They're gonna like, we're going through hell here. Oh my goodness, we need a break. Watch, just watch. A lot's gonna happen in Minnesota. And Ilhan Omar, she, I see her having a lot of problems, and I got to make a video directly on that. But but to back up, but Trump, I'm just like, I don't know about this guy. I don't know until I started to listen to him. And I really started to listen, really listen. And I'm like, oh my goodness, this guy is putting America first. And at first I couldn't say it because I was like, I would okay, I admit I was afraid to say, hey, Trump has a point. Trump is putting America first. Trump is trying to get some things done. I mean, now if I were to say that out loud the way I'm right now, I'm like everybody can hear me and I get crucified for it. But but the fact that before I couldn't because then I would have liberals jump all over me, progressives, and I live in a democratic stronghold city. I've been here for about 40 years. And and not only that, everybody in where I live at the DMV area, the mayor, Muriel Bowser, she and everybody within the city council was anti-American. I'm like, wait a minute, wait. When did being a Democrat mean being anti-American? Until I really start to look at their platform, I'm like, wait a minute. You're for illegal immigration. You're for sanctuary cities. You're for taking tax dollars and giving it to people that have not put a penny into the system. You're talking about people who were taking money, US money, and sending it to another country. You're talking about the United States sending money through USAID to help these countries. And what do we the people, get in return? Zero. We get called a racist. We get called for me, a reverse racist. We get called, oh my goodness, anti-American. We get called all types of names. And that was just simply dealing with Trump. And I'm sitting back and I'm looking, I'm like, whoa, oh my goodness. I mean, aren't you going a bit too far? And the thing is this, by me having my foundation in the Democratic Party, I know how to talk in circles. I know how to do all that crazy stuff. I know how to take conversations, flip them, and I'm very good at it, but I don't do it. I've learned after when I told the story a couple of times, my behind kicked big time by this Republican guy. And he said to me, I remember it. I was on campus up on Connecticut Avenue, Washington, D.C. This was about 8 or 9 years ago. And he said, hey, Laura, after when we were going, I mean, we were just getting it in intellectually. And he said to me, he said, hey, Laura, what has the Democratic Party done for you? I was like, well, I, I. He shut me down just with that sentence right there. He shut me down and made me take a step back and reevaluate my entire existence. And if you ever come across my videos, I don't remember your name. I truly don't. I want to say I want to thank you for removing the shackles from my brain. Just the chain just fell off just with that right there. So now I'm not really liked too much. I'm called a biatch, but never a dumb biatch. Never. They call me a biatch, all types of stuff. I'm not black. I'm not black American. I go. What this one person said that I'm a black woman with a white face. I mean, the wild crap that called. I'm like, please, you're over there giving the country away. You give the country away. You give out birthright citizens, and you're basically saying illegal immigrants can come in here, take the jobs, and one of these days I'm going to take do a live stream just based on immigration, the location of people, the jobs. Let me just say this real quick, just this one thing. And I know I'm going to get a whole lot of backlash and BS behind it, but it's true. When I grew up, 1970s and 80s, we had a lot of jobs. And the jobs, teenagers were able to get jobs at fast food, what is it called? Retail, jobs like that. And those jobs allowed us time to learn how to stop being stupid and learn how to work with people. So when we got into the real workforce, then we would become better employees. Well, as um, illegal immigration really start happening, those jobs for teenagers were no longer for teenagers. Those jobs became for illegal immigrants. And do you know how hard it is? Do you know how hard it is to go into McDonald's and to ask for a number seven with Big Mac sauce on it, and they don't know what the hell you're saying? but but then you have those people, they work there, and they work there for a very long time. Now, here it is. Now, if you really, really, really want to take a look at it, take a look at how there are no Americans working there. Not one. Not one American. I don't see any white people working there. I don't see any white people working there in places like that, not because they don't want to, not because it is beneath white people. Black people don't work there, not because black people don't want to, because not because it's not beneath them, because they can't get in and get hired due to the cultural thing. Oh, well, I got in and I'm going to hire all my own people. Damn it, you're supposed to be an American. You're supposed to be an American. You came to America to be an American. And that's not how you're acting. That's not what you're doing. But I shouldn't have digressed that far. But I really need to do a video on that. MBR said Trump is going above and beyond in Call of Duty. Oh, what can I do? Let me see. Wow. Melinda says, so who is going to work at the actual building, building things at the last, and the American society is lazy. Most they do is, well, no, America is not lazy. American society is not lazy. No, it is not. One thing about Americans is that we're hardworking people. We are. But when we are systematically being replaced, and that's exactly what's going on, we are being replaced. We are. We are. It's not only black Americans, it's you white people too. You're being replaced. Look at the South Africans that are coming in. Yeah. And need I say more? You're being replaced. Two. Uh, Let me see. Trump is okay. Am I reading the same thing? Okay, Rudd said trees are voting for the axe because it had, wow, okay, you just totally, and it's made of wood of Dumbo. Okay. Uh, okay, you keep on saying Trump is above and beyond. Okay, Crank says, Swamp, you are becoming emotional. Yeah, that's what happens. Liberals become emotional and then start calling names, and then it gets downhill and ugly from there. But okay, let me get back to the main topic. Now, the birthright citizenship. Um, Now, a lot happened in the 1960s. A lot happened in the 1960s. And one thing that illegal immigrants and immigrants do not do is this: they do not thank Black Americans for pushing for a lot of the stuff that occurred in the 1965. A lot has happened, and that's when birthright citizenship really became a thing. And that's when a lot of people that were coming here, well, they start trickling in, and then they start coming in more having babies. And then their children got the birthright citizen and was able to get um, Social Security, benefits, anything the government had to offer, they were able to get through that. And that right there was based on Black Americans pushing for it. And they said, hey, okay, well, we can help you out too. Just don't come and forget what we have done, which you all have. You all have done that. And you're like, hey, well, man, oh my goodness. When I think about what's going on in Chicago, when I think about LA, when I think about Texas, when I think about Miami, and when I think Miami, check this out. You can't make this up. In Florida, in order to get a job, and this was back in the 1980s, in order to get a job, you had to speak Spanish. When, when has the state of Florida been a Spanish speaking colony within the United States under the Constitution, the American Constitution, US Constitution, and even the Florida Constitution? When did that happen? When? Even in parts of Texas, you have to speak Spanish in order to get jobs. That's why Trump is saying that English is the official language of this country. It has gone too far. It has gone way too far. Um, Let me see where else. And now it's even in Illinois, in the Pennsylvania, even the Carolinas. And even when I go back to my hometown, this was wild. I'm from North, and some people call me a Yankee, and I got it. My sister called me up and she said, hey, Laura, could you please translate for me? Because they have really no translators, none of that. They're like, she's calling me up to help people fill out for their taxes and stuff like that, and I'm like, what? And then when I say it, people get offended. I'm like, why would you move to a country or immigrate to a country and you don't speak the language? That right there is mind boggling. And then I'm like, why would you do that? You put yourself in a horrible position to where you are always going to be at a deficit. Always. It's going to take you a very long time to overcome that obstacle. Now, when you do that, then you're going to rely on your children to translate for you. Oh my, look, I've seen it. I've seen it done. I've seen it in my ex-husband's family. I mean, it's just a complete mess. Now, let me go back to deportation. Now, I said earlier about how people are getting deported and how people are coming back across the border now. I don't know if they're from Mexico. Well, I know some people were from Mexico, but I don't know if they're coming back the way they did the first time, from wherever they were in the world, and they come back over cross the border. Now, these Einsteins are literally making, they're like, hey, I'm back in the United States. I come from, just for an example, uh, Pueblo, Mexico. I left Pueblo and I got a ride on up here. And from that ride, I walked across Brownsville. I got somebody picked me up from there and I'm driving. Somebody's driving me all the way back to Miami. Okay, whatever it is. They're doing this. They're doing this. And Trump, you thought you got rid of me. Ha ha ha, I'm back. Well, what you fail to realize, what you really fail to realize is this. The, the Supreme Court made a decision for some reason 3-6. It's that it is that 3-6 thing that happened like twice. They're saying that we could deport you to any country. Any country. Well, not any country, but countries that will take people who are being deported from the United States. And I said Sudan just happens to be one of those countries. Now, I don't know how many African nations. I don't know if you could deport them to the islands over in Europe. I'm not quite sure. But that right there is a thing. And when you're sitting there doing that, it shows a location. It's, I mean, that's silly. That is silly. All right. Blue says, intellectually, ha ha ha. That's by far the biggest joke. Okay, I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know what you're talking about. Let me go down. Tony says, Denver Latino Trump supporter. Okay, all right. Uh, Hector says, yes, I can't wait to eat strawberries packed by black and white Trump supporters. Okay, just understand this, Victor. I'm sorry, Hector. You're misunderstanding that Americans won't pick, do that. That's not true. Americans will do it. The thing is that we're going to get paid a livable wage. We're not going to work if the price is here. We're not going to work for this price. We're going to work for this price. And the fact that you're even putting that out there, it just shows that you don't understand your worth in this country. If you are putting yourself as worth less than livable wage, that's on you. That's on you. Americans are going to work according to the livable wage. That is it. I'm just going to put it to you like that. Chris says you're experiencing more racism in your own people than most. Yeah, that's true. I mean, and I'm not going to get into having the same people and it being culturally different. I mean, that is a whole other video. Let me see. MBR says, but what about our strawberries? I'm dying. You got jokes. Tavo says, hey, Miss Laura, have you been? Oh, well, I've been here. I've been here all your life. Look, it took me a while to get here, but I have to say I'm glad I'm here. I'm really glad I'm here. I take the blows and I fight back and I am so proud to be an American. Not a black American, but an American. I'm not hyphenated. I'm an American. And I love my country. Even though we have problems, I couldn't imagine being anywhere else but America. Sitting here talking to you all. Now, I understand why people come here. I get it. And some people say America is the greatest country in the world. Some people believe that. And and America is not the only place, but there are other countries that are doing well. And and everybody wants a piece of the pie. But here's the thing. Here's the thing. You got to compete. You have to compete. And you're going to have to compete with us on a livable wage level. Not down here, no, up here. You got to meet the requirements, and there's nothing wrong with meeting the requirements. And just because you take less to push people out of the job market, you're only shooting yourself in the foot. You are. Because then if you lower the standards, lower the requirements, um, you're going to have even more issues. I'm going to leave it right there. I'm going to leave it right there. Hector says, okay, swamp. Okay, all right, all right. See. See any. Okay, somebody had a question, statement withheld. That must have been really terrible. Okay, El Negrito. It's sad because all Africans will never understand that they had, and I'm saying had to get accepted, and they all had, and I'm saying had to learn English. Your original language was not English. Okay, Negrito, are you suggesting that I'm African? I'm not quite sure exactly where that's headed to or what. I'm not quite sure. Kelly says you a fool. Hector says, why is it the only illegal immigrants' fault? Well, it's their fault because they came here illegally. Look, I don't see anybody running to China trying to go there illegally. Heck, I don't see anybody. No, no, no. People actually go to Mexico illegally and they put them out. In fact, this lady was in Mexico and she overstayed her visa by a week. And the police came, told her to pack her clothes. This is this right here is their form of due process. They went back to her place, her car, everything was left, and made her pack her clothes, buy her own plane ticket, and deported her like that. Other countries do that, okay? And I particularly think the United States has been very, very soft. That's my opinion. When you look at what other countries do, you look at how they operate and how they deal with immigration. Let me see. Okay, and there you going back to that above and beyond the Call of Duty. Hector, you know something? I wish I was on StreamYard. I really wish I was because I would have you come up. Matter of fact, call in. Call in. 202 981 9775. Call up. Come on, Hector, call up. I'll give you a minute. I'm waiting. I'm a black Karen, Mike. I'm a black Karen because I put America first. I'm a black Karen. Come on. Look, Mike, if you're going to insult me, please do a better job. Please do a better job. That right there is just not good at all. Actually, you're insulting me by saying something that juvenile. Come on, Hector. Call. I should have been on StreamYard because I would have you up. Okay. Swamp says, you're not working there either. McDonald's can't get enough workers. They are begging for workers. Okay. But if they were hiring the way it used to be, a lot of there's always teenagers that need a job. And then when the teenagers can't get jobs and they stand out on street corners, all of a sudden they become criminals. They've been criminalized due to what's going on. Hector, Hector, Hector Montes, come on. Call 202-981-9775. If you don't call, you got 30 more seconds. I'm banning you. You're not going to talk smack like that. And not, I want you to call because I want you to be able to quantify what you're saying. Okay, Hector. I gave you enough time. All right. Okay, Tony says exactly. I like her. She's 100%. Okay, well, thank you. I mean, I get called all types of names, but I'll take that. I'll take it to the bank. Okay. What's that, Jabril? Stop your nonsense. I don't know who you're talking to. Crank says, damn it. It started store. Oh, where are you? Oh, North Carolina? Yeah, I got some of my people are from there. Where's my top teeth? Where's my Oh my god, now that's funny. That's funny. Where's your top teeth? Hey, Sammy, where's your bottom teeth? Okay, Americans. Okay, Jabril says Americans have more technical jobs. We don't need to work at McDonald's. You're missing the point. You're missing the point. I said those jobs were for teenagers, young people, people working, going through college. Those jobs were to teach you how to become a better employee or to become an employee. And that is needed. Now you have people that's going straight into the workforce and have no filter. They cause problems, all sorts of issues. And if they would have had that McDonald's job, they would have been able to work all that out and to understand, okay, I'm working and I have to work as a group and I have to learn how to be able to get along with all people that have different temperaments, and I have to be able to learn how to navigate through that. That's why that right there is important. Okay, now technical jobs. Okay, but that right there will prepare people for technical jobs. And if you go back and ask people what was their first job, I guarantee it's something in retail and fast food. My first job, I worked in a hospital and I turned on and off TVs with a key, turn on and off. They had to pay me, keep the TV on. They had to turn in the money. I mean, it was something. I'm talking a long time ago. A long time ago. Okay, Melinda says, okay, she's talking to somebody else. She's talking to Read 23. She says, first, I am a farmer. All right. And I am Spanish and Mexican. And if you would like to come work a day of real labor, then come to New Mexico and I will show you how lazy you are. Well, uh, Read 23 is going to learn something new. Okay, liberals and conservatives are not at all what they are saying. Just keep this understanding. Understand this. The left and the right, they move the same bird. They move the same bird. Just make sure you understand that. Uh, Queen Luzrin said, "Game over." All right. Crank said, "Mountain Yeti." Me too. I'm already there, but the Tourney has my club closed until 3. Okay, I don't know. Okay, in America. Okay, you all are all over the place. You are all over the place. Okay. Okay, El Negrito says, you will never change history with US or try to expel us from, okay, where our land is. I'm not quite sure what you mean by that. I'm not quite sure. Okay, El Negrito also says, we have been in this country before and will forever be here. El Negrito. That name sounds very familiar. Hmm. Oh man. Oh my goodness. I'm trying to keep up with all this. Let me see this instead of hurting my eyes. Okay. Let me try it this way. Please forgive me. Hold on for a second. I want to be more efficient. Okay, this is so much better. Okay, this is better. Okay, Craig said, okay, you all are just going back and forth. All right, but okay, but a lot is going to happen in birthright citizenship, and actually, I'm predicting that these lawyers, these lawyers are going to overextend what they should do. Now, understanding the 14th Amendment and how it's applied, and how they're going to try to save the children that are going to be born here on out. Like I said earlier, they're going to mess around. They're going to mess around and screw it up for everybody from here on back. Watch. Just watch. Just watch. I don't want anything. I don't want anything negative to happen. I truly don't. But however, we have to look at the laws. We have to look at and how they're applied. And because America gives out free stuff, it gives out free stuff to American citizens and free stuff to American naturalized citizens. Let's keep that key right there. Let me see. Twinkle says, enjoying your conversation, Friday Harbor, San Juan Island, Washington. All right. How you doing? Swamp Hog Dog says, you're so full of it. Um, they aren't coming because they are being grabbed in the fields. I don't know what you mean. I don't know what you mean. I truly don't know. Linda says everyone has migrated here. No, I haven't. I haven't migrated here. I haven't. My family and my mother's side and my father's side has always been here. Now, if you go back to what's his name, Christopher Columbus, he talked about people already being here. Okay, so people were already here, and they were called, as they mistakenly called, Indians. Now, I want to say something else. The Indians, the Indians that are here, that look like paper bag Indians, right? Um, Look at Jackie Chan's Western movie. Look at him and look at the natives and see if they don't look alike. Those Asians, not Asians, but those Indians who look Asiatic are Asiatic. But there were Indians here that were black Indians here that had their own flags, their own nations, and there were about like what 120. Oh man, I have to go back and look. 120 native nations already here. So there's a number of us that have been here even before the Constitution. So okay, Linda says everyone has migrated here. Everyone has okay, and brought your lineage here. Let me see. Swamp says, how do you not farm horse? Okay, okay, all right. There are natives, not Africans. Omar. Okay, Omar. Do you really need? You really need to educate yourself, Melinda. I'm not sure who you're talking to, and there is no way you can spin this in a positive light. I don't know. I don't know, but um, this birthright stuff is very. It's going to get crazy. I'm just telling you, it's going to get crazy. It's going to be insane, and and the only thing what I can do is just do content about it and just make sure that I give you all accurate information as far as what's going on. Uh, I gotta say, Trump most definitely is a wrecking ball. He is. And keep in mind, Trump was, or shall I say, still is a Democrat. He's a Democrat. When he ran for president the first time, the Democrats didn't want him. Like, I don't want Trump. I don't want him. Nah, I don't want him. He's a jerk, right? And then the Republicans was like, we don't want him. But Trump bulldozed his way through. So Trump is the only politician on this land that is hated, really hated by both sides. He really is in no man's land. He truly is. And he's fighting both sides. So the first time Trump, he learned a lot. He learned a lot. He learned a lot. Now, the second time, he knows how to deal with people. Is he making mistakes? He's making some mistakes. He is. And I hope he gets it together. I hope he is because the politicians see blood in the water. And the blood in the water is what's going on over there in the Middle East. And that right there is going to be a big problem for him. So he has the House and he has the Senate. And I hope he plays his cards right. And I got to do a separate video on that alone because there is so much to that right there. There's a lot. Um, Man, I'm just getting out of being shadow banned. If I go, they're gonna get shadow banned again. Oh, I mean, really, really into outer space someplace. They're gonna really put me into outer space. I'm just now creeping back in. Man, look, you can't make this stuff up. You truly can't. But on that note, I'm going to go ahead and close it up. I got some things to do. And I want to thank you. Please like, subscribe, and help me out here. Politics with Laura, Cash App, PayPal, Venmo. Every penny counts. I've been demonetized. There are some people who are just terrible, and you can't have your opinion, and you can't put anything on the internet with somebody trying to get your channel taken down. But guess what? You didn't get me taken down. No matter how hard you try, I'm not going anywhere. No. But hey, I thank you for being here. Oh my goodness, I appreciate you all. I appreciate the engagement. And I even get appreciate you all trying to make fun of me. You didn't do a good job of it. Look, I said, if you're going to insult me, you better do a better job than that. But on that note, love you. America first. Immigrants, you come here, put America first, and we're going to be all right. On that note, I want to thank you for stopping by. Bye bye.